It's live. It's live. All right. Shall we start? Shall we start, y'all? So we're just gonna be reviewing this. Tired. Tiredly reviewing this. All right. Let's start. So what is pastry? Why can't I do? Okay. Pastry is derived from the word paste. Okay. Pastry crust is made of flour, fat, liquid, and salt. Flour, fat, liquid, salt. FFLS. Pastry crust. Pastry crust is gonna be pain. Hold up. Hold up. Alright. Hold up. My stream has been resumed. What up, stream? Anyways, pastry crust is FFLS. Flour, fat, liquid, and salt. Flour, fat, liquid, and salt. They can be savory or sweetened. Savory or sweetened. I don't know if I'm gonna remember this. Pie chart. Pie tart. Pie and tart. I'm so cooked. Pie and tart are made from crust, filling, and toppings. Filling is the mixture placed inside the pastries, savory or sweetened. Toppings are the additional ingredients such as icing, fruit, etc. Okay. Okay. Take note to have delightful baked pies and pastries depends on the proper technique of incorporating fat and flour and ensuring less gluten formation. Wow. Hello. Hello, dear viewer. It's nice having you on this sleepy night. Man, I am so cooked right now. I don't know why. I don't know how I got hammered, but I'm high or something. I don't know. Anyways, pâte is pastry dough. Pâte brisée are the main ingredients: flour, water, fat, and salt. Brisée again. The main ingredients are flour, water, fat, and salt. FWFS. FWS. FWFS. FWFS. Alright, got it. Pâte sucrée. The main ingredients are just pâte brisée but with sugar. Pâte sablé. The main ingredients are with sugar and eggs. Just add the eggs. Okay, got it. Pâte feuilletée. If I'm pronouncing this wrong for an actual Frenchman, I am so sorry. Feuilleté means puffy pastry. Puffy pastry. What is puff pastry? We're gonna learn that later. We got me Mia Feuille. Feuille. Mi feuille. Millions of layers. Got it. Pâte à choux is choux pastry. Pain au chocolat is bread with chocolate. Viennoiserie can be bread or pastry. I have 5 viewers. What is up? What up, dear viewers? No, I lost 3 of them. Come back. No. No, I'm sorry I bore you guys out. Hold on, let me see if they will actually respond. They did not respond. I am sad. I am sad. Anyways. Right. Viennoiserie can be bread or pastry. Bread or pastry. Bread or pastry. Bread or pastry. Okay. Bread or pastry. B-O-P. Bread or pastry. B or P. Got it. Pastries around the world. We got the croissant. I'm sorry, I'm cringing at myself right now. We got the croissant. They're flaky, golden colored, crescent shaped pastries. Best made with pure butter and slightly yeast dough. Experts agree that the croissant was heavily influenced by the Austrian Kipfels, originated in 1683 as a celebration of the Austrian victory over the Ottoman Empire. Its shape supposedly mimicked the crescent moon found on the Turkish flag. Dang, my life has been changed. So we got donuts in the US. They're fried dough desserts with holes in the center. Donuts were known as olykoeks, or oily cakes. The pilgrims from Holland are credited for bringing them to the United States. So wasn't it supposed to be from Holland instead of the USA in this title? Whatever. So next up we got mooncakes. Mooncakes are eaten during the Mid-August Festival or Moon Festival. Mid-August Festival or Moon Festival. Mid-August Festival or Moon Festival. Anyways, Mid-August Festival or Moon Festival, just say moon because they are mooncakes. Is a pie-like pastry with a short crust base called yua ping. Okay, I just gotta remember that anti-corrupt Philippine senator called Ping. Whatever. Anyways, next up. Traditionally filled with black sesame seed or lotus seed paste, along with red beans, roasted pork, mung beans, dates, or dates, whatever you call them, and salted duck egg yolks. Round shape is not only reminiscent of the moon, but also a symbol of return or full circle, which in Chinese philosophy stands for fulfillment, oneness, perfection, and unity. Next up, number 4, we got churros. Churros. They're from Spain. They are elongated, crispy, crunchy, and intensely fragrant, deep-fried yeast dough encrusted with sugar or cinnamon sugar. They were originally invented by Spanish shepherds, easily cooked in a pan over an open fire. I don't know how I'm handling this, guys. Anyways, next up. They are most commonly eaten in Spain and Latin America, accompanied by a coffee or thick hot chocolate. Next up, we got borek from Turkey. So, to run down, we have croissants, we have donuts, we have mooncakes, churros, and now we have borek. Borek, they're baked dish consisting of savory or sweet filling wrapped in yufka, or they're just thinly stretched sheets of dough, flour, water, and salt. Yufka is heartier than phyllo, but thinner than a tortilla. Handmade yufka is typically brushed with butter before baking. Cool. So we got the eclair. They're elongated pastries with an appealing glaze, a crispy exterior, a soft doughy interior, and the sweet and creamy center. They originated in France at the turn of the 20th century. It is believed that they were invented by Marie Antoine Carême, a famous French chef. Oh, there's nothing else there. Éclair, French for lightning. Light would reflect off after coating a confectioner's glaze. I'm so cooked now. We have 9 more slides. I'm only in the second one. Are you kidding me? Next one, we got the cannoli from Italy. Decadent, crispy, fried pastry tubes filled with luscious ricotta cheese cream, whatever. Perhaps one of Sicily's best known desserts outside of Italy. Believed to have originated around Palermo, 9th century, while Sicily was under Arab rule. Next up, we got the brioche. Let's see. Is anyone there? Wait, is everyone even chatting? Hold on. Let me check my stream personally. Okay. Personally. Oh, someone said hi, but I didn't see it. What? Huh? Hi there. What's, whatever. I can't see stream chat for some reason. Alright. Personal. Brioche. They're whatever. Cross between a pastry and a bread, with a high butter, milk, and egg content that makes it rich, soft, and flaky. Has been enjoyed for centuries. Now we got baklava from Turkey, a luscious dessert created with layers of thin phyllo dough intertwined with chopped nuts, all dosed in a sweet, viscous syrup. They become a dessert whose origin and invention are claimed by numerous countries. Cool. Now we got profiteroles. They're from France, by the way. They're chocolate covered puff pastries filled with whipped cream, custard and pastry cream, or vanilla ice cream. So that's profiteroles. Next up, we got pineapple buns. They're golden, crispy crusted, sweet pastries, 4 ingredients: flour, oil, sugar, and eggs. They don't contain pineapple, but named after the checkerboard pattern of the crust that visually resembles the skin of a pineapple. So we got semla from Sweden. They are made with a plain wheat bread bun, lightly flavored with cardamom. Cardamom, these nuts or something? I don't know. I don't care anymore. Okay. Maybe I might be doxing myself, honestly. Is made with a plain wheat bread bun, lightly flavored in cardamom, then cut in half. Inside is a filled layer of almond paste and a vanilla flavored whipped cream. We also have tiropita from Greece. I'm doing it all with a hard accent for some reason so that I can remember it. Does that make me remember it? I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Or, use the chat or something. Yes, I got 230 subs! Anyways, next up we got the tiropita from Greece. They're sheets of phyllo dough filled with a combination of cheese, usually feta, and eggs, typically wrapped in triangular pieces and brushed with melted butter before baking. Okay, cool. Again, let's do that so I can remember. Tiropita from Greece are sheets of phyllo dough filled with a combination of cheese, usually feta, and eggs, and is typically wrapped in triangular pieces and brushed with melted butter before baking. Melted or something. I don't know. Get the borek. That's Yufka. Yes, Yufka. No, all my gains are gone. No, all. Anyways, let's see. Cannoli, Italy, brioche, France. Okay. Brioche. Brie means bread, and then osh means pastry. How about I just call it brie posh or something? I don't know. Next up, we got. Hold on. Alright, let's go. Third slide out of 9. We got the Kuchenbusch from Germany slash France. They consist of two pastry profiteroles filled with custard cream and assembled into a cone-shaped tower, glued together with caramel and elaborately decorated. Again, Kuchenbusch from Germany and France consists of shoe pastry profiteroles filled with custard cream and assembled into a cone-shaped tower, glued together with caramel and elaborately decorated. Cone-shaped tower, assembled into a cone-shaped tower. Kuchenbusch cone-shaped tower. Got it. We got the pastel from Brazil. A deep-fried stuffed pastry, half circle or rectangle-shaped miniature pie is stuffed with a variety of ingredients, most commonly shredded chicken, ground beef, mozzarella, or small shrimp. Half circle miniature stuffed with variety of ingredients. Okay, half circle, half rectangle. Now we got the pirojki. I do not know if no, I'm it right. Alright, I'm just checking chat because just in case chat is like getting glitched. Anyways, we got the pirojki. They're often sold as street food, although it can be made at home. Wow, it can be made at home yet still sold as a street food because no one else. I guess people are just lazy, so they just go in the street and buy them or something. They're pocket-sized yeast dough buns. Pocket-sized yeast dough buns stuffed with fresh fruits, jams, and cottage cheese for the sweet varieties, or meat, eggs, vegetable, fish, and rice for the savory versions. So a lot of ingredients, but no, but like, you know, with other stuff. That's the pirojki. Again, they're pocket-sized pocket-sized yeast dough buns stuffed with fresh fruits, jams, and cottage cheese for the sweet varieties, or meat, eggs, vegetables, fish, and rice for the savory versions. Yeah, I've been reviewing for 20 minutes and this is only the third slide. It's okay. Now we got the choquettes. They are airy patachoux pastry puffs stuffed with the so-called sucre pele, or pearl sugar, sucre pele, coarse sugar crystals which hold both their shape and crunch when baked. Oh man, I'm so sleepy. It's 9:36. So we got pigs in a blanket. They consist of sausages. They consist of sausages. Pigs in the blanket consists of sausages wrapped in a dough and baked until golden brown. Golden brown sausages wrapped in a dough. Next, we have the lokma from Turkey. They're a mixture of flour, sugar, yeast, and juice and salt, and then deep fried and then bathed in syrup or honey. So what's the difference between that and baklava or borek? Okay, borek has yufka. Got it. And baklava uses phyllo, I think. Yeah, thin phyllo. Lokma is deep fried and bathed in syrup or honey. Next, we got the kunafa. The kunafa from Egypt. They are filled with a luscious cheese cream, often flavored with orange zest and cardamom. Right. Then drenched in sugar syrup infused with lemon juice and orange blossom water. Again, kunafa from Egypt is filled with a luscious cheese cream, often flavored with orange zest and cardamom. Then drenched in a sugar syrup infused with lemon juice and orange blossom water. Alright, next we got the Danish pastry from none other than Denmark. A laminated sweet pastry consisting of 27 layers. 27. 27 plus 27 is 54, guys. That's quick maths. Anyways, we got the pain au chocolat. They are a yeast leavened whatever yeast leavened dough and a few chocolate sticks or chocolate ganache. Filled dough is rolled, baked, then served, ideally when still hot or warm. Langos from Hungary, they're deep fried in the deep frying. It is the deep frying of a dough of water, flour, yeast, sugar, and salt until it develops a golden brown. Sour cream, milk, or yogurt can all be used instead of water. Now we got sfogliatella. They're filled with a luscious custard cream and black cherries preserved in syrup. Next up, we got pastel de nata from Portugal. They are egg custard tart that is popular throughout the world. The filling should not be too sweet. It should be sprinkled with cinnamon and paired with a cup of coffee. I'm trying my hardest for some reason. I don't know why. I'm trying my hardest. Okay, pastel de nata. Egg custard tart, whatever. We got the empanadas from Spain. They're little pockets with hot fillings, crescent shape. Flaky pastry dough pies found in throughout Latin America and are easy to prepare, inexpensive, and convenient. Empanada, or Spanish empanar, which translates to covered with bread or breaded. Now we got the Apfelstrudel from Austria. They are a pastry dessert consisting of thin layers filled with apple filling, or apple strudel. That's why you get apple or something. I don't know. Now next up we got the egg tart. The classic egg tart consisting of a flaky outer shell with a creamy but firm egg custard in the center. We're only in the second lesson, guys. Second lesson: history slash ingredients slash types of pastry. The ancient Greeks are believed to have originated pie pastry. Romans made a plain pastry of flour, oil, and water to cover meats and keep the juices. Not meant to be eaten, it filled the role of what was later called puff paste. Made plain pastry, whatever. A richer pastry, intended to be eaten. Small pastries containing eggs or little birds, which were among the minor items served at banquets. I ran out of viewers. That's crazy. Pies remained the staple of traveling and working peoples in the colder northern European countries. Next up, we got the Cornish pastry. It is an excellent adaptation of the pie to a working man's daily food needs. They're also empanadas. Alright, medieval cooks had restricted access to ovens due to the cost of construction. Pies could be easily cooked over an open fire. Coffins, basket box, or sealed open top pies are often referred to traps. Function is to contain the filling for cooking and storing. Reduce the use of expensive flour. Main ingredients. A. The flour. They give an elastic structure to the baked good that stretches and rises. Too much flour results in tough, dry, and flavorless. Short crust and choux pastries require all-purpose flour. Fluffy puff pastry recommend mixture of all-purpose flour and low-gluten flour. Strudel and phyllo dough should be made from tough, high-gluten breadcrumbs that can withstand stretching into large, thin sheets. Fats. The role of fats is to give texture to the final product. Depending on the kind of fat used, the pastry will also have a certain flavor. Vegetable shortening, butter, or lard. Fat not only adds flavor but also coats and separates the flour particles, helping smoothen and soften the pastry. It should be also evenly distributed, otherwise it won't be evenly distributed. Leaveners. The steam is a natural leavening agent. 212F acts as the raising agent in puff and flaky pastries. In choux pastry, the raising agents are egg plus steam. Baking powder and baking soda can be used to leaven. Yeast in croissants and Danish depend upon the thin layers of butter to help the yeast. The fat particles produce steam from the water in the butter. Butter is 81% fat and 19% water when baked. And that from yeast gives them their light and flaky texture. I hope I have personality in this. Hello Eileen, welcome to the stream. My chat isn't working, so I have to occasionally look at chat, as I'm reviewing. Anyways, let's repeat that. Yeast in croissants and Danish depend upon the thin layers of butter to help the yeast. The fat particles produce steam from the water in the butter. Butter is 81% fat and 19% water when baked, and that from yeast gives them their light and flaky texture. Alright, letter D are waters or liquids. Too little water in the pastry causes the pastry to be crumbly and dry. Salt improves and enhances the flavors of all the foods. Don't leave it out. Eggs. They are fresh, large eggs. Or they're whatever. They're fresh in large eggs in baking recipes. Yolks emulsify the dough, giving the crust tenderness, richness, and browning. Fat found in egg yolks also tenderizes by coating the flour proteins and then preventing them from becoming moistened when water is added, hence preventing browning and flavor, tenderizing, keeping the crust moist, and of course sweetens. I am so tired right now. You guys cannot. I cannot make this up right now. 1+ subscriber. Let's go. Anyways, we got types of. I need help. Types of pastry crusts. We got short crust pastry, probably the most versatile type of pastry, as it can be used for savory and sweet pies, tarts, and flans. There are several different ways of making short crust pastry. Oh man, I'm so tired. We're already halfway, so I don't gotta worry. Versatile type of pastry, short crust. Pies, tarts, flans. Several types. We also have the puff pastry or puff feuille. This is one of the flake pastries characterized by fat in their air being trapped. This type is time consuming but worth making. It is used for savory pies, pie crust, and as wrapping for meat and poultry, as well as vol au vents, cream horns, and millefeuille. Small ice skates are filled with jam. We also have flaky pastry, used as crust for savory pies, sausage rolls, eclair cakes, and jam puffs. Flaky pastry is best made in cool conditions. Cool conditions. Flaky and cool. Just think of snowflakes. They're cool and they're flaky. And must be chilled during and after making to prevent fat content from melting out under cooking conditions. Next up, we got rough puff pastry, a cross between puff and flaky pastry. P and flaky or something. Oh man, I'm so tired. I need some water. My mouth is getting dry. Uh. Alright, let's continue, shall we? We also got rough puff pastry, a cross between puff and flaky pastry. Also good for sausage rolls, savory pie crust, and tarts, and has the advantage of being easier to make than puff pastry, but is as light as flaky pastry. So it's kind of cool, I guess. Choux pastry or pâte à choux. Their incredibly light specialty pastry is used in the making of eclairs, profiteroles, and cream buns. Cream buns, y'all. Airlifts the pastry during cooking to treble in size all those cream-filled delights. We also have the strudel, phyllo pastry. This type of pastry, along with finely shredded pastry, also from the Mediterranean, is made in very thin sheets and used as a casing for numerous delicate, savory, and sweet dishes. They're made with high gluten content flour. Phyllo is very difficult to make. It needs careful handling because it's such a thin because it is such a thin what? I don't know. Some people prefer to buy ready-made phyllo pastry, but even that is not easy to use. Okay, man, come on. I don't want to read anymore. I don't want to read this anymore. This is so. This is so. It's so weird. I don't wanna. It's too much reading. Anyways, we gotta do this. Temperature and techniques in pie/pastry crust. Chill all the utensils and ingredients before using to ensure the temperature of the dough is kept cool. Cut the chilled butter into medium cubes and rub it against the flour very rapidly to ensure that the butter does not melt. Hand mixing is suited to small quantities of dough because you have control over the mixing process. So hand mixing suited small quantities. Got it. The pastry dough should be chilled for at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes to relax the gluten to avoid shrinkage when baked. Pie dough should be cooled during mixing and mixed and make up for easier handling. Pie with high moisture fillings could keep the crust crispier by adding 1 tablespoon of vinegar to the formula per crust, thus making it suitable for custard pie. Custard pie, cool. If you are going to use a crust for cream pie filling, make sure to use pâte soufflée. What is pâte soufflée? Well, you just add the sugar and eggs, I think. Let me check if I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I'm correct. Yay! Alright, next up. Make sure you use pâte soufflée. After blind baking, the crust is brushed with melted white chocolate so that the moisture will not seep through the crust. Roll out the dough between a sheet of plastic to prevent dough from sticking and ensure a smoother texture. Roll out the dough between a sheet of plastic to prevent the dough from sticking and ensuring a smoother texture. When baking, put the pie plate into a preheated baking sheet inside the oven to acquire heat quickly. Oven. To achieve a desirable product, the first minute of a pie in the oven must have a higher temperature, then lower it down after 15 minutes until thoroughly baked. A hopia is a mung bean. Hopia is Filipino. They're mung bean or azuki bean paste. An example of puff pastry, originated with Fujian immigrants from China. First eaten around the time Americans occupied the Philippines. What else? What else? What else? What else are the facts? It is a 2 hours preparation. Soak mung beans made with flour, oil, water. The other types, hopyang baboy, hopyang hapon, and hopyang ube. Next up, we got the barquettes, the French ship. They are both hard short crust, boat-shaped dessert. Flour, water, butter, salt, uses molder. It can be a sweet barquette, fruit, chocolate, jam, or it can be savory barquette, seafood, vegetable, meat. Third lesson, producing quality pastry. You'll need to choose your recipe and familiarize yourself with the steps involved. Number 2, gather all the equipment you will need for most short crust recipes. You will need a large baking bowl, a rolling pin, dinner knife, flat spatula, plastic wrap or sling or cling film. Whatever that is. Anyways. Next up. What's next? Number 3. Keep everything cool. Cold hands make good pastry. Run your hands under cold water before starting to mix the pastry. And if the butter or lard warms up too much, like on a hot day for example, pop it in the refrigerator from time to time. Use a marble slab, yeah. Work quickly, don't dawdle when making a pastry. Rest, rest, and rest again. Resting allows time for the gluten or proteins in the dough to relax. Use a hot oven, usually 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 220 degrees Celsius, or gas 7. If the oven is too cool, the pastry will melt rather than cook. Ensure a crisp bottom. Place a heavy baking sheet in the oven while it's heating up. When you're ready, place the tart or pie directly on the heated tray. What is puff pastry? Okay, hold on. We're almost done. We're almost done, y'all. This is home stretch. Okay. What is puff pastry? It is light, flaky pastry made with laminated dough. Laminated dough is a process in which layers of pastry dough, and butter are rolled and folded together. Key ingredients in puff pastry. The butter is the single most important ingredient. When learning how to make puff pastry, they give the pastry its mouth-watering flavor and signature flaky layers. During the baking process, the water content in the butter evaporates as it melts, creating steam that lifts and separates the layers of the dough, thus creating air pockets in the dough. Creating steams and lifts on mouth-watering flavor. Okay, got it. Flour, all-purpose flour is fine and can be used successfully for a homemade puff pastry. Bread flour has a higher protein content than all-purpose flour and therefore contains more gluten. Gluten is important for making puff pastry because you want to create strong sheets of elastic dough during the lamination process. Water, use cold water. It will help ensure the butter is incorporated properly into the dough and does not become too warm during the mixing process. Salt, table salt can work in a pinch, pun intended. Prefer using a fine kosher salt for this puff pastry recipe. Next, tools needed in making puff pastry. You will need a stand mixer. When you can mix the dough by hand with a spoon, a stand mixer speeds up the process and prevents overhandling the dough during this initial stage. A rolling pin. Rolling and sheeting the dough is a step that simply cannot be skipped. When making puff pastry from scratch, a large, heavy rolling pin will help you create the butter block and evenly roll out the dough during the lamination process. Speeds up the process. Okay, rolling pin will sheet to create the butter block and evenly roll out the dough during the lamination process. The bench scraper, we like using a bench scraper to help with the flour into the butter block and shape the puff pastry dough into a neat rectangle. Rectangle. Bench scraper equals rectangle. Oh. Wait, what happened to the... Oh, no. Next up. Uh... Wait, we're almost done? We're almost done! Okay, how to make puff pastry. Number 1. Step 1. Prepare the dough. In a bowl of stand mixture, combine the flour, salt, and butter for the dough. Step 2. Blend, then add water. Blend then add water. Mix on low until the butter is incorporated into the dry ingredients and gradually add water until a shaggy dough forms about 2 to 3 minutes. It should hold together when pressed. Step 3. Shape and chill. Turn out the dough onto a piece of plastic, wrap and shape into a 1-inch thick rectangle with your hands. Wrap tightly in the plastic and then chill in the refrigerator for 60 minutes. And step 4. Begin the butter block. On a clean surface, make a small mound of butter. Sprinkle it with 70 grams of flour. 70 grams of flour. Step 5. Beat it. Beat it. I'm sorry, I got something there. Okay. Beat. Next, using a heavy rolling pin, beat the butter block and flour together. As you work, use a bench scraper to lift the butter off your surface and work the mixture together. Repeat this process until flour is fully incorporated into the flour and the mixture is soft and pliable. Beat the butter with flour together. As you work, use a bench scraper to lift the butter off the surface and mix the mixture together. I'm so tired and I can't even comprehend this. Yo, are you also studying? Yes, I am studying, Rogue. What up, Rogue? What up? It's been a while, but it's also been a while for me in this mayhem of reviewing. It's okay though. I have to. Oh, I know I'm pretty tired, but I have to do this. I know I have to. Alright, now step 6. I really cannot see chat for some reason. I do not know why. Why can I not see chat, bro? Why can't I see chat? Anyways, shape the block. Cut out a piece of parchment paper that measures 16 and 12, 16 times to, not times. What am I thinking? 16 to 12 inches. Transfer the butter block mixture to the parchment and shape it into a neat 9 by 6 inch rectangle with the sharp edges that is about an inch thick. Fold over the excess parchment, then wrap the butter block in plastic. Place it in fridge to chill for at least 20 minutes. If this exam is not multiple choice, I'm gonna crash out because I know I'm cooked. Step 7, roll out. Autobots roll out. Step 7. On a lightly floored surface, roll the dough out to a rectangle that is about 12 by 10 inches. Step 8, position the butter block. Remove the butter block from the fridge and peel away the plastic and parchment. Place the butter block on one half of the dough, leaving a half-inch margin around the edges. Tests are coming up and two words reviewed. I'm so cooked. Don't worry, we're all cooked for exams. We all know we have to work hard in those days, man. I'm sorry, but sometimes you're either too cooked or you're just cooked enough. I don't know. Wait. Oh no, I thought the stream was actually. Alright. That's position the butter block. Step 9. Fold that top half of the dough over the butter block and pinch the edges. Close with your fingers to seal. Then pat the edges back into a neat rectangle. Wrap the pastry dough tightly in plastic wrap and chill for 30 minutes. Step 10. Roll. When step 7 was roll out, step 10 is just roll. Remove and unwrap the dough. Roll it out on a lightly floored surface to a rectangle that is about 18 by 12 inches and about a half-inch thick. Cool. That's very cool. Cookery classes, yeah, kinda. It's a mandatory class for some reason, but I can't complain. It'll be helpful in the future. All right. Yeah, this is about baking, and I don't know if I should memorize this, but I think I should memorize it. Otherwise, I might not pass tomorrow. It's usually the final parts where I usually mess up. So yeah. All right. First fold. Yeah. First fold. Take one of the shorter sides of the dough. Fold it towards the center, about 1/3 of the way across the dough. Repeat with the other side, overlapping the fold, so you have 3 layers of dough. It should look like a brochure. A brochure. I don't know what a brochure is. Step 12, mark and chill. Use your finger to make an indentation in one end of the dough to remind you that the first fold has been completed. Wrap the dough back in the plastic and return to the fridge to chill it for 30 minutes. I'm just wrapping this, honestly. I'm wrapping this now. After this, I'm gonna end the stream. I wanna sleep. I wanna have an early rest and stuff. But you know. Next up, we got 13, sub 13, second fold. Remove the dough from the fridge and repeat the process outlined in steps 10, 11, and 12. Chill for another 30 minutes. 10, 11, and 12. Roll it out. Forward surface rectangle. That take about one. One of the shorter sides of the dough folded in towards the center, about through 1/3 of the halfway across through. Can't English anymore. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. Repeat with the other side, overlapping with the fold, so you have 3 layers of dough, which look like a brochure. Now, third fold, complete your third and final fold. Remove the dough from the fridge and repeat again the process outlined in steps 10, 11, and 12. Chill for another 30 minutes. Use as desired. After completing your final fold, the lamination process is complete and the dough is ready to be used as desired. Man, oh man. That's 9 slides of reading. 9 slides of a dry mouth. Pain. I've been reading for 50 minutes straight. Man, oh man. Yeah, I think that comes out to like, wow. Wow. My mouth is just filled with English. Well, at least wellness breaks. Yeah, that is true though. That is very true. That's why I'm trying to explode. Trying to explode. Trying to do the best I can with the final days before rest. Not actually slacking. I am locking in. I'm locking in tomorrow morning about it. I'm gonna exercise very early in the morning so that I don't have to do it later, and then do the exams early. That's not, man. Boots, going up and down again. All right, just a bit of a looking through, to stand mixer, rolling pin, bench crew. Prepare the dough, blend, then add water, shape and chill, begin the butter block, beat it, shape the block, roll out, position the butter block, encase the butter block, roll, first fold, mark and chill, second fold, third fold, use as desired. Man, right, use a hot oven. I'm sure it'll be mediocre and fine. I've been reading for the past like 45 minutes. Oh man. My, oh my, that was crazy. How many views am I getting? 11. That's cool. I'm so good. It's okay though. I'm gonna end stream now. Should do some Sudoku matches. No, I shouldn't do some matches right now. I'm fine. I'm just looking through what I'm missing right now. I'm not missing anything. Anyways, goodbye, y'all.